Today we have a cool lineup for you. I wanted to first start off with the Capcom leak. Are you aware of this,
Yeah.
Josie?
Yes. Some hackers used ransomware to try to get some money out of Capcom. Capcom was like, nah, just leak it
Yeah.
out.
Yep. Which honestly, you're better off just letting them leak it because you can't let these guys have so much power over you, you know?
Well, I mean, it,
And
w-
it's not top secret like national security information. It's a gaming studio.
well, with the what's it called? With the high profile leaks that we've had in the gaming space and the kind of unanimous response to it in that okay, leak it. I hope that it'll stop this kind of behavior, hopefully in the future,
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, yeah, we can hack this and we can take this information, but no one really benefits.
Yeah, you're not
You
going
know,
to get paid.
it becomes a talking point,
Yeah,
but aside from that, like, why are you going to such lengths to do it if you're not really getting anything out of it?
exactly. All right. So I just kind of wanted to go over some of the games on here because there is one thing that really got me excited.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
No, Power Stones, son. All right. So let me go over these. Basically, in one of the leaks was like you know those business milestone
Calendars, yes.
calendars, yeah. So they found that. So Resident Evil Outrage, which is going to be Q4 next year, Dragon's Dogma 2, Q2 2022, Street Fighter 6, Q3 2022. That's pretty cool too. I hope they make it a more like stylized like Third Strike type of Street Fighter. I didn't really like the blockiness of this newest generation, but we'll see.
Hopefully
Um,
we'll see.
Rockman match Q3 2022. Now, do you think that's going to be like a battle network type situation?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be Battle Network, but I'm just thinking from just the initial list and maybe historically speaking, a couple of the games and how they've been treated. Resident Evil Outrage doesn't really give you the idea of what kind of game it is,
Yeah.
except for maybe historically speaking, Resident Evil Outbreak. And I think that maybe Capcom is definitely trying to break into the, for lack of a better word, into the like more competitive esports, maybe more multiplayer based genre.
Yeah.
The kind of games of like a service kind of genre.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they did that kind of with Resident Evil Resistance, tacked on to Resident Evil 3, but obviously they didn't believe in that.
No, no, people didn't buy it. I mean, people weren't hype about it. They were like, "Why didn't you just put more time in Resident Evil 3?" At least that's how I felt.
And no,
Yeah.
of course, that's fair. And Rockman match to me just sounds like it doesn't to me like a regular Rockman game like Mega
Hmm.
Man 11. Or it could even be some kind of like a small mobile game,
Yeah.
Rockman match, like a match 3 type game.
Yeah.
I see it going either way, but I just see it. I see these more like generalized games.
Okay.
Street Fighter 6, obviously akin to Street Fighter 5, and then
Yeah.
what was the other ones that we talked about?
Uh,
Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma had a Dragon's Dogma Online that's a Japan exclusive.
yeah,
So
you told me about that.
so maybe Dragon's Dogma 2 can use some of what they've used there or what they've learned there and make it into like a multiplayer, because I mean practically Dragon's Dogma itself is kind of multiplayer because you have to be in a party of 4 for the most part. Yes, you can kill
Hmm.
off your pawns, but have you played it yet?
No, I never beat it. I have it. I should just power through one
Oh yeah,
weekend.
definitely.
Um,
But this is what I'm excited about the most. These next two.
Resident Evil 4 remake, which I heard people speculating earlier in the year.
Yep.
and Onimusha New Work.
Yes, I am super excited for Onimusha. I'm a big Onimusha fan. I loved Onimusha 1 and 2. 3 is okay. And
That was the
then,
one with Jean Reno, right?
yeah, that's one genre now. Yeah. And then Onimusha 4 was awesome. I
Yeah.
loved Onimusha 4. I'm forgetting the name though. It's like Dawn of something, Dawn of Souls, I think. But yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah. And for people who aren't aware with the Onimusha series, it was kind of like the grandfather to the Devil May Cry series.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
There's so,
and both of which were spin-offs of Resident Evil.
exactly. Yeah. But the whole like uh the whole demon killing and collecting the orbs and all that was all started in Onimusha.
Yeah. Dawn of Dreams. Onimusha Dawn of Dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, Onimusha was awesome. I love those games.
Yes, yes. Onimusha
Those
was
games and the Tenchu games. Those were my favorite
Tenchu
games.
Wrath of Heaven. Still to this day, love that game.
All right. We have Monster Hunter 6. I mean, they're about to put out 2 new Monster Hunter games.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise and what else?
Stories too.
Ah, yes, Stories 2 for Switch.
So I mean,
But those
I
are
don't know.
but Stories is an RPG.
Stories is an RPG. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a different type, and then Monster Hunter Rise is exclusive to Switch. So Monster
Yes.
Hunter 6 is probably going to be, one of the big boys going to next gen.
That's going to be their new, Monster Hunter World game or whatever.
Yes.
All right. And then Final Fight Remake. That is pretty interesting. I mean, if you're like a
Biohazard Apocalypse and Super Street Fighter 6. Which I love how they already have a sequel for Street Fighter 6 already planned.
Oh shit, I did skip over those. My bad. Biohazard Apocalypse. What do you think that is?
So Biohazard is the Japanese name or the Japanese version of Resident Evil. So I find it interesting within this calendar report that they have different iterations. They have Resident Evil 4 Remake, not Biohazard 4 Remake.
Yes.
And Resident Evil Outrage, not Biohazard Outrage.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if this is a Japan exclusive style of game, maybe.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what's funny? A friend of mine brought this up. I didn't even think about it. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is essentially Resident Evil 7 Resident Evil. Because if you take the name, it's the Japanese name of Resident Evil. So it's like they named the game the same name twice. And
but Resident Evil 7 is just Resident Evil 7 here. It's not Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
No, I mean wait, no, it is Biohazard, isn't it?
Nope. Resident Evil 7 is just Resident Evil 7 over here.
When I look it up, it says Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking this up in real time. We're gonna do a Joe Rogan.
Yeah, right here, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they named they gave it the same name, but the English and the Japanese version in the title.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can't correct
it. Yeah, Super Street Fighter. Yeah, they're already planning the next version. Power Stone Remake. Power Stone Remake. I'm hype over that. So for those of you that don't know what Power Stone is, it's like a party brawler game, and it was on the Dreamcast, and it's not well known. But it's a fun game even to this day. Because we played it at my house when I had that retro tournament.
Yes, and again, that leads to my idea of like more multiplayer centric type games, and that definitely lends itself to multiplayer. I mean, they can have like larger tournament style. I mean, I think what was the max characters on that? Was it 4? It wasn't 4.
It was 4.
Yeah, because of all the ports.
Yeah,
and they never did a multi-tap on there, did they? For Dreamcast.
No, but it had.
They had net. You could play on the net, but I mean, I don't think Power Stone was on the net at the time. But that sounds fun.
There had to be a multi-tap, dude.
Huh?
There had to be a multi-tap. Someone had to make it.
Maybe someone in the comments can let us know.
Yeah.
But Power Stone was a lot of fun, so much fun. And
Yeah,
if they're able to revitalize that for the current gen, more power to them.
yeah. Um, and then we have yet another iteration of Street Fighter 6. Ultra Street Fighter 6.
I wonder if that will hurt them. It's like people are just gonna wait for Ultra Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, this might actually hurt them because they'll be like, man, I know this is coming out in 4 years.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Um,
If you think about it, Street Fighter 6 is a beta for Ultra Street Fighter 6.
yeah, yeah. And Resident Evil Hank.
I think that's a misspelling of hunk. Like who the hell is Hank?
I don't know, dude. Hank sounds like a name of like
King
I
over
don't know. Hank. The name Hank
King of
always
the Hill?
makes me think of King of the Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
But so yeah.
So someone photoshopped that, like put Hank in like a Resident setting.
Resident Evil Hank. Yeah. So there you have it. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, we kind of know the game now, so they don't really have any other surprises unless they come up with something.
Well, the surprise isn't so much in that we don't know what's happening, granted, but the surprise will still be in what they do with it, how it's executed.
Yes.
So we're still going to be surprised in
Yeah.
how it's going to be coming out.
Yeah, but man, this reminds me of how they leaked the newer season of Street Fighter right before Evolution. And when
Ah.
Capcom went to the show, they had nothing to show. So they're just, but okay. Here is one thing that bums me out. There's no new Marvel vs. Capcom on that list.
Well, here's the one thing that I think that we're not taking into account is that all these games,
Mhm.
except with maybe the exception of Rockman, seem to be, or at the very least, tied to heavy hitting franchises.
Yes.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of. I mean, I guess Dragon's Dogma can be attached to that. Onimusha has history,
Power Stone.
but Power Stone also has history.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that I don't see any kind of like B game type games.
Hey, Marvel vs. Capcom is not a B game.
I'm not saying it is either. I didn't say that either.
Well,
I'm saying I don't see any of it.
yeah, I take that back. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was a B game.
Ooh, ouch.